this particular text from the 217.
217 is what?
It's an area code.
Thank you.
As a welder, you don't meet many older welders. We work in awful conditions around many toxic substances, but I made a choice to earn a comfortable living for my family and with no regards to my health.
Well, thank you, sir.
Why, do welders die young, or do they leave the welding industry and move on to less stressful or dangerous jobs?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I know you could have horrible accidents, like, I burned my fingers off again, or...
Again?
Well, they could put them back on briefly, like the guy who was the guitarist from Black Sabbath, right?
Wouldn't you generally...
Tony Iommi, is he the guy with the fake fingers?
But if you're a welder with a welding torch...
He is! Don't give me that look! That guy's shaking his head. No, the guitarist from Black Sabbath,
you're thinking of the drummer that only had one arm.
No, that's Def Leppard.
His arm fell off.
That's the Def Leppard guy.
It was actually in a welding accident.
You're thinking of the guy with the bucket for a head.
No, I think he just wears a bucket on his head.
Oh, that guy? No, he was in sports radio down in Dallas.
Buckethead on the ticket.
No, it was the bucket in, like, the mop or something. The bucket in, like, Billy Bob. Remember on the side of their van? The bucket was the object. Wait, so a welder, if a welder melted his fingers off, they wouldn't be able to put them back on, right? Because you have a welding torch? It's not like...
At least it would be cauterized properly. I don't think I'm making this up about his... I thought his something happened where, like, somebody drove over his fingers. Here, at the age of 17, this is Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath.
Tony Iommi.
At the age of 17, Iommi lost the tips of the middle and ring finger of his right hand in an industrial accident on his last day of work at a sheet metal factory. I got one more day until my pension.
I'm out of here.
Right. I'm out of here. I've been on the force 35 years. This is my last day. They give me this crazy new partner.
Wait, so
all I got to do is make it through today.
He lost his fingertips on his right hand of his ring finger and middle finger.
After the injury, Iommi considered abandoning the guitar entirely. See, I would have abandoned working at a sheet metal factory, but that's just me.
Wait. If he was part of Black Sabbath, why was he working another gig?
This is kind of before they hit it big, I think.
It was before, okay.
His factory foreman...
Like, he had to cut a concert short? I got to get to the sheet metal plant. I got to go.
His factory foreman played him a recording of famous jazz guitarist Django Reinhardt.
Yes.
Which encouraged him to continue...
Movie reference?
Django. Movie reference. Dan's not listening to you, Chris. I got it, though.
Per usual.
So he was only playing with two fingers on his fretboard hand because of an injury that Reinhardt sustained in a terrible fire.
He's busy reading to himself on the air, which is worse than him reading on the air. So we have that now for us to look forward to.
Okay, but he fitted homemade thimbles, we went through this before, made from melted plastic bottles to his injured fingers.
And this is now the segment where Dan reads to himself.
And that is the rest of the story.
It's brought to you by iTunes. Download a book today and read to yourself.
As a welder, you don't meet many older... Maybe you don't meet many older welders.
I don't think I've ever met a welder.
Olderwelders.com.
There you go.
You don't have...
So would there be like a dating website for welders?
Yeah, welders.
And one of the things you could filter through is 10 fingers or not.
And if I remember correctly, Jennifer Beals was a welder in Flashdance.
Movie reference?
She was, and I think she had all her fingers.
Would you call it, would it be an older welder or an elder welder?
Oh, Jesus.
It would be elder or WElders.com. Meet older welders in your area.
Now I'm just picturing two people trying to kiss with welders masks on.
Right. In bathtubs.
Or like their logo is they're fusing together with the acetylene fire.
They drag a couple bathtubs down to the lakefront and they jump in with their welders masks on.
They weld the bathtubs together. Then they close them like a clamshell. Put a hinge on there.
Inside, right.
Right. Now I go to the weekend with that.
I think of elder welders. It could also be like a living community for retired welders.
I cut a hole in the wall again. He escaped again.
So
these aren't connecting rooms.
What dangerous settings do welders work in that are more dangerous than other guys doing like construction or whatnot?
I just took them. I don't weld. I don't
know.
You
should know that. Look it up on your interweb machine.
Only on Tuesday do I weld. Sorry. Thank you, Dave.
But Terry was here for a minute. Hey, Tuesday Weld.
Sorry.
I would say that joke was not well done.
All right, this is the Boers and Bernstein.
Okay,
show. You're listening to The Score.
Sorry.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Before we say Terry's two favorite words in show business, we should mention that as we were talking about elder welders, we've had one in the house. Our guy Ron here is coming from work, 66 years old. He's been welding for what?
40 years.
For 40 years. And a lot of people bringing up underwater welding, the guys who work on the oil rigs in the Gulf, and several texters saying that, the hazards are called sharks.
Yeah, and not being able to breathe underwater is a difficult one, too.
Yeah, but I would think if you got the welding torch going and a shark is like, hey, what's going on? You can just, the shark is like, ow, it's hot.
My buddy also texted me, Matt, and he says that breathing in melting steel is not good for you.
Then I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I try not to.
I wouldn't do that job.